Okay, hey, it's Miss Smoke. I'm coming back with my last one for tonight because this is really getting on my nerves this phone. But anyway, we're at part 11 of the story behind the children of Israel as they prepare for the promised land. So, Numbers chapter 27 talked about how the daughters of Zelophehad, he was the family and tribe of Manasseh, which is the son of Joseph. So the daughters stood before Moses and Eleazar the priest, and before the princes and all of the congregation by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, saying how their father died in the wilderness of his own sin. But he had no sons, so why should the name of their father be done away with from among the family because he had no sons? So basically, they were stepping up and asked for their father's inheritance. So they told it to Moses, and Moses went back to speak to God about it. And God spoke back to Moses saying that they're speaking right and that they shall receive the inheritance, their father's inheritance that would pass down to them. Just because they weren't boys or the father's son doesn't mean that they shouldn't get inheritance. So then God gave them an announcement that if any man die in the children of Israel and have no sons, then the inheritance shall pass to the daughters. And if there's no daughters, then the inheritance would go to the brothers. And if they're like the father's brothers, if he didn't have any children, it would go to his brothers. And if he didn't have any brothers, then the inheritance would go to his father's brothers, so his uncles. And if he didn't have any uncles, then the inheritance would go to the next of kin. And this was a statute of judgment for the children of Israel. So God also said unto Moses to go to the top of the mountain, Abraham or Abiram, and he wanted him to see the land that he was going to give to the children of Israel, and that when he seen it, that he will pass away as his brother Aaron did for rebelling against God. Because if you recall, God had said Aaron and Moses would not be taking the children of Israel into the promised land. So whatever God said, his word, his bond is it doesn't come back void. So because they rebelled against his commandments in the desert of Zin, that Moses did with Aaron, he wasn't going to take them into the promised land either. So Moses responded by saying, all he wanted was for the Lord to set a man over the congregation that may lead them so that they are not sheep with no shepherd. And so God had told him to take Joshua, a man who is in the spirit, and to lay his hands on him and set him before the priests and all the congregation and put some of his honor on him so that the congregation of the children of Israel may be obedient. And Moses did so. So that was the end of chapter 27. That's the end of our part 11. I'm sorry I had to do it in so many parts, but the storage is full in this phone. It won't let me keep going. So, but anyway, those were good lessons to learn tonight on how God will show up, how he would correct us if we're on the wrong path, how his word is final. It doesn't come back void. Whatever he says will come to pass, whether if it be now or in the future, how he shows his face to certain people. He speaks through people. He makes animals speak. He does the impossible. He does the unbelievable. He does the unthinkable. And it's all for the greater good of those who believe in him, those who he's chosen. So it even talked about how he got mad with the children of Israel and killed them off, but he spared them, spared their lives in the end. Those remaining, but he still killed them off. That's why you don't want to make God mad. You don't want to upset him. You don't want to put other gods before him. He is very much a jealous God. Um, yeah, but it looks like Moses' time is coming to an end, and it looks like Joshua's getting ready to step up and take on the role of Moses, the lead role. So that's all I have for tonight. If you made it this far with me, thank you always for listening. Hopefully that these stories are making sense to you, because definitely is making sense to me. Breaking it down like this gives us a better understanding of what the children of Israel went through, their journey, and where they were headed, how God dealt with them, how he corrected them. We can learn from this. So it's good to know it. But all right, that's all I got.